What you're looking at is the 2023 NHL Draft Lottery Simulator on tankathon.com. Now, what this tells us is the teams with the best odds to get Connor Bedard. Now, obviously, this changes on a daily basis based on the amount of points the teams have, but as of right now, the Chicago Blackhawks have the best odds of winning the Connor Bedard sweepstakes, followed closely by the Anaheim Ducks and the Columbus Blue Jackets. But where I want to draw your attention is not even at the 10th slot, where we've got the Montreal Canadiens, who, with their very own pick as of right now, would have a 3.5% chance of winning the draft lottery. But 2 spots below, we have the Florida Panthers with the Ben Chiarot trade, giving them another 2.5% chance to the Montreal Canadiens to get that first overall pick. Or even, could you imagine if through this pick, the Habs were able to get Adam Fantilli and Matvei Michkov, for example? That would still be a gigantic win. Probably one of the best things to happen in Habs' recent franchise history. I'm not talking back when they had Maurice Richard, Henri Richard, Jean Béliveau, all these types of guys, Guy Lafleur. But in recent history, this would be an absolute triumph. And remember, that pick from the Florida Panthers is not lottery protected. So that pick is going to the Montreal Canadiens. And hey, it seems like the Florida Panthers are in an absolute nosedive here. And yes, they have Matthew Tkachuk. I predicted at the beginning of the season, I was saying, it's not just losing Huberdeau and Rieger, but it's what those 2 guys meant to that team. Rieger was one of your top defensemen, and Huberdeau, obviously, 115 points. You don't replace both of those things with just Matthew Tkachuk. And they lose again last night, 4-2 to the New Jersey Devils, after being up in that game. And a rough showing, and they've got guys like Eric Stahl and Mark Stahl who are playing way above their depth. It's not looking pretty up in Florida. The only thing looking pretty over there is the sunrise, seriously. So, to me, the fact that the Montreal Canadiens have that pick is a game changer. This could absolutely expedite the rebuild in such an amazing way. They're talking about the 2023 draft as possibly being one of the best ever. Seriously, that's how deep this thing is. It's so deep, the GMs are trying to convince other teams to take their first-round picks from other years instead, so they can still have a crack at the can at the 2023 draft, because they know it's so deep that even if they get the 20th, the 22nd, 23rd overall pick, they could still land an amazing player, even in the second round. So, to me, I don't see how this isn't a slam dunk for the Montreal Canadiens, not only to have 2 top 10 picks potentially, but also to have them be in one of the deepest drafts that we're going to see maybe in a long, long time, if not ever. This draft is talked about up there with 2003 and 2015. Elite company as far as this draft goes. So even if the Habs don't get first overall, they don't get Connor Bedard, if they can sneak away with, let's say, Michkov and Fantilli, or even you throw in a guy like Braden Yeager in there, for example. There's some amazing prospects here that could absolutely just change this game for the Montreal Canadiens so quickly. This is the type of stuff that turns you into a contender, and a contender for multiple years, is when you build your team deep through the draft and you hit home runs through the draft. Now, obviously, there's pressure to make sure that the Habs don't go out and select the next Nail Yakupov, but I really do think that in this 2023 draft, it's going to be hard to miss. And I'm going to keep talking about this as the Panthers keep losing and keep bettering that draft pick potential for the Montreal Canadiens. I'm going to keep making videos about this because this just keeps getting better for the Montreal Canadiens. And again, I can't believe that not only do the Habs potentially have a chance at 2 top 10s in this draft, but 2 top 10s in one of the draft that's talked about as being maybe going to be one of the best in history? Come on. It seems unfair for the Montreal Canadiens. So yeah, just don't mind me fangirling over here over this pick, because it's just an absolute W by Kent Hughes. And we'll see who this pick ends up being for the Montreal Canadiens. It could be devastating to the Florida Panthers if it's somebody like Fantilli or Michkov or even Braden Yeager, who I personally really, really like. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below as usual. See you in the next one. Peace out.